In this video, we will talk about calculating quantiles of a dataset in R. So quantiles means given a fraction or a probability called f, then we want to find the number of the data at which the fraction or the probability of f's value below this value. Right? So, for example, we have a vector with 100 numbers. Then we set 0.95 in the quantile function. So which means we want to find a value associated with this vector at which about 95% of the values in this vector below this quantile value. So next we go to RStudio. So first we read a file by setting the working directory, and we set the variable type of the dataset, then using read table function of this CSV file by set a column class of this variable type and separate comma. So this data frame is created called grade. And for example, we want to calculate the mathematics scores quantile. And we want to know about 80% of value is quantile. So we can use quantile grade mass $mass then 0.8. So which means we want to find a value at which about 80% of the students have the mathematics score below this value. So the data is 87.6. So if we look at mathematics, 73, 60, 90, 91. So on average, about 80% of the students below this number, 87. And if you do not set 0.8 here, we just use a quantile of mass, then I will by default show the minimum value of mathematics and the maximum value, so which means 100% of the students having the scores lower than 95. And 25% of the students have the mathematics lower than 72. And so on, 50%, which is the median value, and 75% with 87, below 87. So this is the third quantile, this is the first quantile. And for example, we create a vector by randomly generated 1000 number from uniform distribution. Then we see this vector 1000 number between 0 and 1, because by default uniform will generate a number between 0 and 1. Then we can use a quantile of this vector by set 0.05. So which means which value at which 5% of the values in this vector below this value. So in this case, we get 0.0559. And you can also set two probabilities in a vector in this quantile function. So here we set both 0.05 and 0.95. So about 5% of the values below 0.056 and 95% of the value in this vector are lower than 0.964. Thanks for watching.